Hey, what's up everybody? It's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our continued playthrough of Myth Dark Frontiers. I think a number of people abandoned watching this series because they thought I was going to lose. I haven't lost yet, guys, and we're on episode, I think, number 5 or 6 or something like that. We're still going. We had a bit of luck last time. You never know. I mean, we might be able to pull this off. I don't think so. I still think we're going to lose in the end just because it's so tight, but we'll see. We'll see. We got a lot going on. As one of the viewers pointed out, really terrified about these captains could cause some havoc for us, and I agree they probably will and can, so we got to be careful of that. But the other thing we want to do is we want to get into the ruins and complete this objective with somebody that mainly with our apprentice, because if we do that, then we can solve the proof of faith objective there and get one of these wrapped up. We have enough resources to do it. So yeah, we need 3 hope and 2 supply. We got that. So let's get right into our turns and get going. I think we're going to keep on moving. So we're going to get right into our first phase, which is going to be our preparation or planning phase rather, and get all of our cards laid out. So let's go. Here are the enemy cards. You know, we don't shuffle these. We shuffle these 3, but we don't shuffle the top 2. They go out as they go, and we get 1, 2, and 3. Then these 2 will go back for next round. So we got that done. Now we have to plan our phases out. And the first one we're going to do is our apprentice. I already know what we're going to do. So I think she is going to move first. So we're going to travel. We're going to play her travel action in the morning. She's got to get to a new location. And then she's going to move into here, these ruins, where she will first battle in there to try and do some damage, maybe kill that captain. It's possible. We can try. And then she's going to quest. And the quest thing will allow us to fulfill one of our objectives. That's pretty good, right? So that's going to be her turns for the round. Now, let's talk about our soldier. Now, our soldier's way up in the top. I really would love to get the soldier over to the ruins as well, up in the north part, and try and take out the baddies there. We've cleared a lot of the bad guys off the board, which is fantastic. So I think what we're going to do first is we're going to travel. Okay, we're going to travel, and that means we're going to get some movement on. We really don't have anything to do there, but I think since we're going to end up in a place without monsters, most likely in the next turn, I think we're going to fortify, because I'm going to try and move to the sanctuary and fortify. We get some bonuses for having fortifications in sanctuaries. Didn't pay attention to that enough earlier on. So that will be his daytime action, and then the very last action we'll encounter in the sanctuary, see if we get some good stuff. And by the way, I think I got the wrong set of cards. Oh, I'm doing the brigand's turn. Sorry, I got to take that back because the brigand is not in the same place. In fact, that really is going to help us out. So I'm sorry, the brigand comes next, not the soldier. Brigand's right here in the sanctuary. So I think what we'll do, we're not going to travel anywhere right now. We will start with a fortification. We'll get it up right away in that spot. Then we'll have an encounter and the daytime action, and then we'll travel. We'll travel last with our brigand. Get some movement. See where we have to go after that. That might be helpful. Now we go on to our soldier who's way up there. So we are going to travel first because we don't have much option. We're going to travel. Now we won't be able to build another fortification there because we'll already have one. So we can go to the sanctuary of the village. Whichever one we're in, we can attempt to encounter there. And then I'm not sure what we're going to do after that point. What we might do is I can fortify to gain a supply, or I can battle and try and draw that. Yeah, let's do that. We'll see if we can draw. We're going to battle in the last phase because I can, if I have a guile, I can move a minion from an adjacent space to us, and that would be helpful. Okay, we got our days planned out. Now let's start to take our actions. So I think this, hopefully the bad stuff doesn't hit us right away. We get to do some things first. Like I said, I'm really only worried about those captains. That's the worst scenario we could run into, and it could be very bad, but let's go on and see. Okay, let's get our actions for the day. The morning actions are going to come up. I didn't mean to make that rhyme. We're going to shuffle up our cards and see what we get. I think these are good and shuffled. We'll do one more little cut. Boom. What do we get? Of course, we get that first. Never any luck for me on this, I tell you. Let's do this a little later. No, we get it first. Okay. Scheme. Resolve the active quest scheme. It says here is our active quest scheme. Raise corruption by 1 for each captain in the ruins. That's 2. Of course, because we couldn't get something done first. So we're going to go to the ruins, rather the corruption track. We have captains in both, and this was what I was afraid of and what the other viewer was afraid of too. So we only have 2 to go. We're at the top of that track now. And it says, each hero in Bones area must discard 1 ally or suffer 2 damage, then resolve. So we have completed that track, and I have to find out what we do at that point. I think we're in trouble. Because whether we wanted to or not, we're going to head into the siege. This is no bueno, guys. So we have to go, because I told you those tracks were going to be our undoing. We didn't move the needle fast enough in the beginning because we had such bad luck. Okay, so we are going to do the siege. Now, how does that work? Well, I'm not sure yet. I haven't played through the siege yet, but we're going to get there. Here we go, the siege. Okay, so when the enemy army is finally prepared to march on Farron Rock, which means that the siege, it got to the siege position on one of the boards, or the heroes are drawn too much attention to themselves, the siege begins. This represents the end game and raises all the stakes. The siege begins the first time a conquest marker enters a siege icon space. Well, that just happened. Or when the final objective card is revealed. If this happens from the result of an enemy action card, fully resolve the card first. So we're going to finish our scheme card now. So then we're going to move captains. Now we know that captains are going to move toward the closest quest space. So the 2 are already in there. This 3rd one will move to the village. Okay, we have no darkness, so we don't have to worry about that. And it says siege. If each captain is in a quest location, each hero suffers 1 damage. Then, if no hero is in a quest location, resolve Bones' life drain ability. Well, we're not in the siege yet, so it says fully resolved, but we have to. This is the first time we're going into the siege. So, the first thing that we do, okay, then the players must immediately perform the following actions. Okay, so we resolve the card because we were not in a siege yet on the scheme. So this part doesn't happen because we haven't finished resolving the siege yet. So that's going to go. We're done with that. However, we're going to get the bad guy out. Our very own villain is coming out to the board, the big boss. Now, to do that, we have to do a muster roll, basically. We're going to put him out in a random spot. So it says, place the boss in a random outland or lair location by rolling a 1 non-darkness fate die in the fate pool. So that's okay. We can do that. We'll take one of these nature ones and we'll roll that. Good, we got a faith. That's not terrible. But where is the faith icon? It is down here in the corner. So guess what, guys? I'm using my Bones myth miniature from the myth game. It's not painted, but it's still cool. Look at his hack, right? Anyway, here comes Bones. That is a bad thing. Okay. Yeah, we place the boss. That's all we do. The boss appears in the dark. Okay. Discard the remaining objective tokens in play and discard all other objectives. If the final objective has been revealed, do not discard it. So we can't do our objectives anymore. All of these go. And we are about to get besieged by the big bad guy. That is such a shame, because we would have definitely solved one of the objectives today. Told you those tracks were going to be our undoing. We were just too far along. Anyway. Yeah, it says until the siege begins, ignore all siege components. So now we're going to have to deal with those two. A conquest track that has already reached the siege icon cannot be reduced. If a conquest marker enters a siege icon space on its conquest track and the siege has not yet begun, the siege immediately begins, which we've just done. If the siege has already begun and a conquest marker reaches a siege ability, or the conquest marker is already on the siege ability, when that conquest track raises, players immediately resolve that track and siege. Well, yep, that's where we're at, guys. So the siege, now we don't resolve that siege ability because it was the first one to get there, but if we ever have to do that again, which we will, because we're going to be doing every villain card we get, we're going to be doing the siege effect now on the card, plus musters and all that other fun stuff. I guess we just go straight to the siege effect at this point, because we really can't. You can still do all these things. We'll see. We can still resolve that quest, and we may just do it anyway, just to get the quest out of there and see what's next. Plus, it gives us benefits. But we can't do anything but continue with the siege at this point. So let's continue with our turn. So our entire mission has changed now, and all we really need to do is defeat him, but we'll see how this plays out. We do have one minion in Farron. No, we don't. That just ended up on the board. I don't know how that got there. Anyway, we do have some things to do. Okay, well, let's continue with our turn. So next up, we're going to fortify. That's not a bad thing. So our brigand is going to fortify. If there are 2 or more enemies in your area, there are not. Lose shadows and gain 1 supply. We can't do that. Fortify or gain a supply, so we're going to fortify. There we go. Next up, we'll look at these. We're not going to do either of these because we don't have to. It says deal 1 damage to an enemy in your area. There aren't any. And then gain shadows, which we're not going to do either. So that's the end of his turn. He really couldn't do that much aside from that. But we got the last fortification up. Okay, next up, we have our Apprentice. Now, our Apprentice has a choice of traveling or adding 1 spell card from the discard pile. We're not going to do that. We are going to travel, so we're going to move to here. She's not going to take on Bones quite yet. Bones, by the way, has a total of 9 hit points, 3 per hero, has an attack of 7 and a defense of 5, and a life drain ability we got to deal with. I'm going to be sending our soldier down that way for sure. Anyway, we traveled, then we can spend a guile to move 1 minion from your area to an adjacent area. And we can draw a spell card. We're definitely going to draw the spell card. We're not going to do the other. There's no point. Well, that's not true. I guess we can... No, I want to save this. We'll save that for now. We're going to do this one here. We're going to spend this arcane one to get another spell out of the spell deck. Hero's Edge. After hero rolls d10 for a skill test, the hero may reroll. Or after an assault, each enemy may be forced to reroll a number of d10. Those are good spells. We got a lot of spells out for her. We can go on the offensive with her pretty soon, but we're going to roll this die and see what happens. It is another arcane symbol, so that is okay for us. Not bad at all. Alright, and last up we have our soldier. Our soldier is traveling. It says discard 1 fury to deal 1 damage to someone in your area. We're not going to do that, but we are going to move him to the sanctuary, right? Oh wait, actually before we do that, it says move 1 minion from your area into adjacent area. Well, we don't have any minions there, so we're going to move. We're going to travel there, and then we're going to look at this last part. Discard. We don't have any rage, so we can't do that either. So we can't do this bottom part. So that's going to be it for our turn. That is everything that the heroes can do in this turn. I mean, it's not bad, but anyway, it's not good. But let's move on to our day actions. Now that we have Bones on the board, we're going to have to get hustling and try and defeat him. Okay, here are our day actions. I'm going to shuffle those up. Trying to make sure they're shuffled so we don't always pull the bad guy first. Let's see. Oh, we didn't. Oh, good. Okay, encounter. So we got our soldier in the sanctuary. We're going to have an encounter. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Let's get out the sanctuary deck. Okay, here is the sanctuary deck. What do we get? We get Father Josh. Gain this card as an asset. We have to make a faith roll of 5, faith roll of 5. Spirit, rather. Test of 5. We have 2 dice. That's not bad. If we gain him as an asset, we can exhaust this card to roll 1 additional d10 for each faith in the fate pool. Resolving a skill test or battle, then turn 1... yuck. Well, he's okay. He's kind of like a trickster priest. Otherwise, we discard 1 hope and influence. We don't want to do that. Though I don't think it matters anymore. I think all we can do is defeat the bad guy. So anyway, let's roll and see. We're going to have 2 dice. And we need to roll a 5 or better. We don't have any re-rolls or anything. Let's see if we can do it. An 8 and a 10. Well, that was easy. So we the soldier gained an ally in Father Josh. Okay. Then we can spend a nature to move into an adjacent area and gain 1 fury. We're going to do that. The question is, do I go after that captain up there, or do I go straight for the big baddie? Well, the only way we can win at this point in the siege is to go for the baddie. So we're going to do that. We're going to move to here and gain 1 fury. Oh, wait, we have to spend... No, we spend a nature to do that. So we're going to do that, and that means we spent 1 of the nature dice in the pool. And then we could discard a fury to have a battle action or gain a fury, but we can't do that because there's no fury in the pool. So that's going to mark the end of that encounter, and then we're going to re-roll this die. Arcane. Well, that's not terrible. Could be worse. Okay, and he's moving on his way down to deal with... the big bad guy and see if we can defeat him, because that's the only way we win. Otherwise, I think Bones is going to do us in, guys. Do us in. Okay, next up we have our brigand, who's in the sanctuary as well, we can, for a faith symbol, look at the top card of any encounter deck and place it on top or bottom. We're going to do that for sure. And we have the sanctuary deck out already too. So we're going to spend this to see what the top card is. Misdirection, gain 1 influence and supply. I don't see a point in that, but we'll put that on the bottom because that's not really going to help us. I don't see what we spend those on during the siege. Maybe I'll find things, but I don't think we do. Let's see what we get. It's going to be totally random now. In intercepted orders, defeat 2 minions. Any 2 minions not in your area. That's pretty good. We need a tactics of 5. Our brigand has a tactics, as you can see, of 2. So we have to roll 2 dice, and hopefully we get lucky enough to accomplish this goal. All right. Need to roll a 5. Come on. So we failed. Okay. Discard 1 stability or raise the lowest conquest track by 2. We're going to discard a stability. So unfortunately we blew that. That kind of sucks, guys. But I guess we'll end that encounter. Well, wait. Can we do anything else? Let's just look. We can lose a shadow to re-roll any number of dice. Yeah, we're going to do that because there is a guile in there and we'll be able to gain shadows back. So we're going to lose our shadows right now. And we're going to re-roll these two. It says any number, right? Lose shadows to re-roll any number of d10 rolled during this action. Okay, great. So, okay, then we pass. All right. So we get to defeat any 2 minions. Any 2 minions. Where do we want to do that? Well, let's take a look at the board. Now, it says minions, not captains. I cannot defeat the captains. But I think we can take one out of here. And we'll take one out of here. We'll just get rid of those 2. That's helpful. It's not great. It's helpful. And the card says, as she presses the crumpled missive into your hands, the fallen battle priest grasps. It's up to you now. So I guess she passed on after that. Oh, that sucks. Okay, and then we're going to spend this guile die as well to gain our shadows back. And then we're going to have to roll these 2. Hopefully they're not darkness. And they're not. Nature and arcane. We got a lot of arcane right now. All right, next up, we're going to draw the next card and see. Oh, it's the battle of our soldier. No, our apprentice. And so she's going to battle the captain. We're definitely going to battle. So we're going to roll 1 die. We don't have faith in there, but we do have that, and we have spells. So let's roll 1 die. Remember, the captain is a attack of 6, defense of 4, the soulless. Let's see what we can do here. An 8, so we did damage and took none. That is fantastic. So there is now 2 points of damage on the captain. Let's see what else we can do. Oh, wait, wrong card. That card belongs down here. We're here. Okay. We don't need to reroll. We didn't have any faith die in there anyway, but we can draw a spell card with an arcane symbol, so we're going to do that. I'm going to look at my cards and see if there's any way we could have done any additional damage at that moment in time. That would have been helpful. So let's see. Reroll. When a hero would suffer any amount of damage, reduce the damage. When a structure would be removed from an enemy, we could fix the structure. After you resolve an action, move 1 hero from any area to your area. Oh! Oh, yeah, that is useful. We're going to spend that spell, I think. Before you resolve an action, you may... Nope. Before, okay. Yeah, we're going to do this Threads of Space. We're going to spend that spell, so that is going to go into our discard pile for the Apprentice. Sorry, no, I was thinking. I apologize. So yeah, that was good. Okay, and so we're going to do that spell, and that means that we're going to bring the brigand to here. That way we're all heading toward the big fight right now. That's all we can really do. So this card, we never actually got to see what the final objective card is, and we won't, because you don't, unless it's been turned over, you don't get to complete it. Now, if we had it already revealed it and the siege began, then we would still be able to complete it, but we can't. And then our last card is going to be the bad guys. Devastation. Okay. Sinner's Sorrow. Devastation. Raise the devastation track if applicable. I guess it's... How does that work now? It's not. There's nothing on there. I guess we just go to the siege. Okay, so we jump to the siege. Muster for each rage in the... Oh, I've got to roll this die. It is not. It's a faith. So we don't have any rage in the rage pool. Otherwise, I guess we would have done that. Siege. Each hero may discard 1 hope. Okay, here's why we need to continue to collect things. For each hero that did not discard 1 hope, place 1 captain in Farron Rock in a different quest location. Not in Farron Rock, in a different quest location. Well, okay, that's not Too bad we got the hope to spend. We'll just spend it. There's 3 hope back into the pool, so we did that. And then we don't have any darkness. So that is really it. Right? That's it. If we just follow the siege instructions. There's no way to spawn guys out here. Wait, do we spawn them anyway? Let me check. So here's the way I look at this. There are 3 missing supplies. So the way I see it is we're going to have to muster 3. So we're going to do this then. We're going to roll 3 dice and muster 3 minions into the areas that we need to muster them in. So 2 are going into the guile area right here. I think this is right, guys. Tell me if I'm wrong. And 1 is going into the area up here for the purposes of muster, and this gives us a new selection of fate dice there. Alright, I think that would have happened, and then of course we already did the siege piece. We spent the hope. So that's it for that round. Huh. Yeah, I think that's right. I still think, because it says for everyone you can't place, then you roll a muster. So I'm going to assume that that's what we do. We roll the muster. Okay? And then we're going to go on to, let me move the book over. We're going to go on to our night phase and see what happens there. Now, I don't know if I'm making mistakes, guys. Let me know. I'm going to post this before I go on too far, because like I said, this is my first actual siege in the game. So I think based on what I'm reading, I'm doing it correctly. All right, what do we get first? Oh, our march. Naturally. All right, march. Resolve an assault in Farronrock and each area containing a structure. Okay, well, so we don't have an actual assault in Farronrock, but then we're going to move minions. So let's start, and then we're going to do the siege. There's no darkness in the pool, so we're okay there. Okay, so structures. We have a minion and a captain with a structure up here. So we're going to roll 2d10, and it's based on the captain's attack value of 6. So if we roll higher than 6, then we don't lose the structure. We do, in fact, lose the structure, so that structure was destroyed by the captain. However, it won't be. When a hero would suffer... Nope. Yeah, here we go. We're going to play Sphere of Deflection. When a structure would be removed from an enemy attack, you may suffer 1 damage to keep the structure in play. Because I think we're going to need those resources, so we're going to keep the structure in play, and instead... our apprentice is going to take a point of damage. That means she's at 2 of her 6. We'll just put that right there again. Okay. And now, there are no more minions in places with objectives. So now we're going to get on with the rest of the march. Okay, no assault on Farronrock. So now we're going to move minions. Well, we have 1 minion. Now, there used to be a... well, there's a structure there, so this minion will not move. So we're going through the inner circle. This one is no longer with anything, so that's a captain. It won't move. Shouldn't it have moved with the schemes? I guess it should have, right? Then spawn defeated captains. Okay. Well, at the time, yeah, I think this captain would end up in Farronrock, which means we would have an assault in Farronrock, right? Because the other one has a structure. It would not have moved. Oh, they move in quest locations, if I'm not... Let me look at the scheme again, just to be sure. I think I got to backtrack on that. Players resolve the active scheme quest, which was raise corruption for any... oh, yeah. We got a whole bunch of crappy stuff going on. Well, we already did that scheme, right? That's the one that... Yeah, that's the one that kicked off this whole event, so I don't know why I'm backtracking that far. We're okay. All right, where's the first one? Oh, we haven't gotten there yet. We just drew it. So it's still... Oh, the march. We're doing the march. Yeah. I was looking at the devastation one, the one from before. But we did it right. We're okay. Okay, it's just this one. All right, now I move that. So going to the next ring out, this one will move. These 2 will move. These 2 will move. They're heading toward structures or Farronrock. And that is that. Okay, that's the march order. Now we go to the siege piece. We did that. Okay, siege. Remove 1 damage from Bones for each faith in the pool. Okay, Bones doesn't have any damage. If Bones has 0 damage after this, resolve an assault in Farronrock and a battle with any heroes in his area. Okay, so we resolve an assault in Farronrock. There are no assaults in Farronrock. There's nothing in there, so we don't have to do that, I think. There's no assaults in Farronrock. because to do that, you have to be there, and there's nothing there. So if captains had moved in, which they are likely to do next time we draw that scheme event, we would have them in Farron Rock. Or, yeah, I think that would be right. That's why I was looking at this scheme. I wanted to see if the captains then move captains. Yeah, okay. So the captains, we got lucky in that the captains hadn't moved yet. But we're not going to do that. So we would have healed Bones, and we would have had a siege in Farron Rock, but we don't do that yet. Okay. That should be right. There's nothing in Farron Rock to do a siege with yet, but there will be soon. Now, if we had any characters in here, he would have resolved a battle with us too. That didn't happen because they're not there yet. But they're going to be soon. Soon. Probably this turn. Maybe. We'll see. No, probably not this turn. Anyway, let's go on to our next card. Guys, if I'm going to have a little time to do some corrections if I made a mistake on this, but I think I'm okay so far. Okay, battle our, well, yeah, that's not going to help us at all, is it? Well, we can move one minion from an adjacent space. We can't do that. Battle or gain one influence. Well, I guess we'll gain an influence because we can't battle with our soldier. So we'll just gain an influence, and then we can gain one fury for each enemy defeated. Nope. Discard one fury to deal damage. Nope. So that's going to be it for our soldier. That is the only thing that he's going to do is gain some influence there, which we may need. You never know. Okay. Boosh. Now our apprentice is going to quest. So we can reduce the target number of the active quest. We don't have any more nature in there. So we're going to quest. Okay. So here's the quest. And we're going to solve this because it will give us some stuff. So it's Prophecy of the Final Night, and this is going to be in the ruins. Now, this would have helped us to complete an objective, which was our original goal, but it doesn't matter anymore. Now, our apprentice has a a lore or intellect of 3, so we're going to roll 3 dice against a 5. We don't get any bonuses, we just have to roll a 5 or better. Oh, barely made it with a 6. Thought we missed it for a moment. And then it says, the signs are very clear to some. Disprove the prophecy, or fear may overwhelm Farron Rock before the enemy gets a chance to. Gain 1 influence, okay, and gain 1 ally of your choice from the ruins encounter deck. Okay, we will do that. So we're going to gain an influence, which is right here. So we have a bunch of influence, but not going to help us much. And then we're going to look for the ruins encounter deck. We're going to flip through that and gain an ally from there. I'm going to look through the allies, and I'll be right back. Okay, she's going to take Bobby out of the pool, and basically we gain him automatically as part of the quest, but we gain +1 to our tactics, which is good. We also can exhaust this card to deal 1 damage to an enemy in our area for each rage in the fate pool. So hopefully get some rage in the fate pool, and she can do some damage. That would be awfully nice. And then we can also spend an arcane to draw a spell card, which we will do. So we're going to spend one of these arcane dice to draw another spell card, and we get, that's the last of our spells in the deck too. No, it's not. No, it is. That's it. We've used the other ones that we've had. Okay, Chaotic Overflow. After you resolve an action, choose an adjacent area and resolve a battle action in that area. God, I could do that right now, but we're not adjacent. We'll do that next turn. Okay, well, we got that spell. That's good, and that is going to end that, so we're going to have to re-roll this, and hopefully it's not Darkness. Good, it's Faith. That's okay. That's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. All right. Then last up, we're going to have our travel action from our brigand. Okay. So we can move 1 minion from an adjacent area to our area. Nah, don't want to worry about that. We're going to travel. So we're going to travel to the dungeon there. And it says lose shadows to deal 1 damage to an enemy. There aren't any. And we can use a Gal to gain shadows, but we don't have to worry about that. That is it. He just simply moved over to that space there. We're all converging to see if we can keep the big baddie in the corner because he didn't move. We got lucky with that. He did not move yet. And that is going to be the end of the turn. So we still get to get a bunch of supplies and stuff. So we look for turn events. I'm going to look at our big bad guy Bones. If Bones is in Farron Rock, resolve an assault on Farron Rock. Then each hero in... Nope, that's okay. We're okay. So, and bonus heals 1 damage. Otherwise, discard 1 hope. Deal 1 damage to each hero in or adjacent to his area. Okay, that's if he did the life drain ability, but he didn't. So he just, right now, he's just made his presence known. He hasn't come in to attack us yet. He's about to. We're going after him. We really don't have a choice. We could beef up some more, but I think, you know, it is what it is. So we'll see. Next round might be the end of the game, or could go on another round or two. I'm not sure. Anyway, we are going to gain our resources. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out. I think hope is going to be important. So we're going to gain 3 hope. I'll gain 2 supplies. And that's our pool right there. Okay. So we got the pool built up in case we need it. Yeah, that looks like, I think we did everything okay there, guys. You'll just have to let me know if I made any mistakes. So the last thing we're going to do is flip everybody's cards back so we can draw them next turn. We're going to take these 3 cards. At least we won't have a march. Well, we might not have a march in the next phase. We're going to shuffle them all up. See what we get. And then we'll put these 2 on top. There. Okay. And that's that. Okay, well, guys, that is the end of our turn. So 1 or 2 more episodes to go, I think. Hopefully, we'll see if we can actually defeat Bones. 9 hits, though, guys. That is really, really tough. If anybody can do it, it's our Brigand and Soldier. I don't think our Apprentice can. I mean, she can plank away at one point at a time. I just don't see that happening very well for us. But, guys, that's the end of that. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please, in this particular episode, because I did start a siege and hadn't done it before, if you see anything I need to correct, please let me know. Kevin, that means you. So if you can, let me know if I did something I have to fix here. So anyway, guys, just remember that was the first time I've encountered a siege in the game. I hadn't done it before, so we'll see how this plays out. Thanks again. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all your subscriptions, and I appreciate all the attention and commentary. I love it. Thanks. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye for now.